she yelled from her shiny golf cart. "You can't build that barn here. I'm sending the HOA patrol," and drove off like she owned the whole street. I stood there holding my coffee, watching her dust trail fade. My land, my barn, my rules, but apparently Karen didn't get that memo. An hour later, I saw 2 white trucks pull up. Big HOA logo. 2 men with clipboards and that fake official walk. They didn't knock. They didn't ask. They just walked right into my barn like they had some kind of badge. I followed quietly. "Morning," I said. "You boys lost?" One of them looked at me like I was trash. "We're here to inspect for unapproved construction." "HOA policy." I smiled a little. "Interesting," I said, "because this barn is on private property, not HOA land." He laughed, shaking his head. "Sir, everything in this area falls under the HOA. That's when I saw her again, Karen, standing at the edge of the driveway, phone out, recording like she was the director of some reality show. "Make sure you check inside," she yelled. "He's hiding something in there." I felt that slow burn in my chest. I'd promised myself I wouldn't lose my temper this time. Not again, so I just said, calm as ever. "You want to check inside? Fine. But you better make sure you're ready for what's in there." They exchanged a confused look. Karen grinned, thinking she'd won. I walked over to the side door, entered the code, and the big steel door lifted with a deep mechanical sound. The men froze. Karen's smile faded. Inside wasn't some messy workshop like she expected. It was spotless. Walls lined with tactical gear, military-grade equipment neatly stacked, a flag hanging proudly, and right in the center, my old team, 5 of them, fully geared up for weekend training. One of them turned, recognized me, and said, "Captain, you want us to pause the drill?" Karen dropped her phone. I turned to her and said, "You sent a patrol to inspect my barn." I greeted them with my SWAT team. The look on her face? Worth every second. Pause. She stammered, This isn't legal. You can't have that." I just smiled. "You sure about that? Because last time I checked, protecting private land is very legal." Her voice cracked. "I'll call the cops." I tilted my head. "Please do." And for the first time, she looked like she realized she'd just picked a fight with the wrong guy. Karen's voice shook as she fumbled with her phone, pretending to dial. "You'll be arrested for this," she barked, trying to sound confident, but her hands were trembling. The HOA patrol guys stepped back slowly, clearly not ready to deal with 5 armored men watching them. One of my team members, Jackson, leaned on his rifle and whispered, "Cap, you want us to stand down?" I nodded slightly. "Yeah, we're not here to scare clowns." Karen snapped, "Did you just call me a clown?" I looked her dead in the eye. "No. I called you someone who thinks they can run other people's lives." That hit her hard. Her face turned red as a stop sign. "This whole area is HOA property," she screamed. "You can't just do whatever you want." I walked toward her, calm, quiet, every step measured. "Funny thing," I said. "Before I built this place, I checked every boundary, every map. You know who signed off the exemption letter?" I reached into my jacket and pulled out a folded document. "The county sheriff. My old partner." She blinked fast. "You're lying." "Am I?" I unfolded the paper right in front of her camera lens. Her recording caught the seal, the signature, and one bold line across the top. "Non-HOA jurisdiction confirmed." Karen froze. The 2 patrol guys looked at each other and started backing away toward their trucks. "Don't you move," she yelled at them, but they didn't stop. "You're supposed to fine him." "Ma'am," one said quietly, "this property's not in the HOA map. You might have made a mistake." Karen's jaw dropped. "Mistake? Are you kidding me? He's dangerous. Look at all this." She pointed to my team, now calmly packing their gear. I shrugged. "That's not danger, ma'am. That's discipline." Her voice cracked, and I could see she was losing her cool completely. "I'll call the county then. I'll get the sheriff out here." I grinned slightly. "Perfect," I said. "Tell him Jake Miller sent you." That name landed like a grenade. The patrol guys froze again. One of them whispered, "Wait, Captain Miller? From the SWAT unit?" Karen's expression changed instantly. She looked like she'd just realized she'd been yelling at a legend. I took a sip of my coffee and said softly, "You know, Karen, I fought for this land. I bled for it. You think I'm going to let an HOA tell me how to live on it?" She didn't answer. just turned pale, eyes darting between me and my team. Don't worry, I added. You wanted law enforcement here. You'll get them. Because the truth was, they were already on their way. Karen didn't know the sheriff was already pulling up the driveway. The patrol guys tried to slip away, but she yelled, "Stay! You'll see he's breaking the law." The sheriff stepped out, saw me, and laughed. Jake Miller. Still keeping the peace, huh? Karen froze. You know him? Ma'am, the sheriff said. This man trained half my department. He turned to her. And you trespassed on private property. Her phone slipped from her hand. What, wait? Ma'am, he said firmly. You're under arrest for harassment and false reporting. My team watched silently as she was cuffed, still babbling about HOA rules. I looked at her and said, next time you send a patrol, make sure they know who they're inspecting. The sheriff chuckled, shaking his head. Still attracting trouble, huh? I smiled. Trouble just keeps mistaking my peace for weakness. As the lights faded down the road, I turned to my barn, my land, my freedom, and I whispered, "This is America. You don't mess with a man's home." The end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing HOA stories.